Live and in color. Welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable pop-up event. Here to get the show on the road are our hosts, Ted Ings, Sarah Vantine, Katrina Ness, and Vanessa Collins.
Bozard built, initiated, and working full force. Bozard built is a go.
DocuPad digital transaction systems online. DocuPad is a go.
ABN network information displays refined and active. Internal messaging is a go.
Mobile Van Fleet expansion secured. Software advancements underway. Remote service team engaged. 21,537 remote ROs closed. Remote operations are a go.
Video multi-point inspection technology sustained. Video MPI is a go.
Microsoft and Azure conversion complete. IT devices activated and safety assured. Systems and IT are a go.
280 merch orders received. Employee swag is a go. Customer satisfaction rating soaring. CSI excellence is a go.
Over 16 EV chargers installed, grounds maintained, new storage room activated, facilities is a go.
33,555 warranty tickets closed. Warranty processing is a go.
4,925 government and fleet vehicles sold. Government and fleet sales is a go.
106,064 main shop ROs closed. Main shop operations are a go.
Parts delivered to Ford Shop, Lincoln Shop, Quick Lane, Accessories Department, and the Remote Operations Center. Countless of parts delivered and installed. Over $1.5 million in parts inventory. Parts department is a go.
Convenience delivered. 2,110 pickups. 1,956 deliveries. Totaling 4,066 seamless service experiences. Pickup and delivery is a go.
187 employees onboarded seamlessly. Employee experience is a go.
More than 2,800 pre-owned vehicles delivered with precision. Used vehicle department is a go.
More than 800 new Lincolns sold. Exceptional experiences delivered. Lincoln sales is a go.
22,197 quick lane repair orders completed. Quick lane is a go.
9,587 vehicles detailed and looking good. Detail and pre-delivery are a go.
Transactions completed. Over 7,524 retail deals posted and thousands of checks issued. Accounting department verified. Accounting is a go.
167,252 calls. Received by the Communications Center. Customer engagement is a go.
More than 3,100 new Fords sold. Sales milestones achieved. Ford sales is a go.
Bozard's 2024 priorities accomplished. The best team on the planet confirmed. All departments are operating and stable. Bozard Ford Lincoln crew readiness confirmed. 2025 preparedness checked and verified. Bozard Ford Lincoln is
3, 2, 1, go.
all systems go.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings with Sarah Vantine. We are here at Bozard Ford Lincoln with some guests of honor, including today Santa Claus, who's made the trip to St. Augustine. Everybody welcome. Santa, welcome.
Thank you, Ted. Great to be here, folks. Merry Christmas.
Well, Santa, you know, there's a lot that's going on at Bozard Ford Lincoln, and really the spirit of the holidays is here in the dealership. How has customer engagement played a role in creating a memorable experience for your guests?
Here at Bozard.
Here at Bozard, yes.
Memorable experience. I think it's some of our values, some of the vibe when you walk in the store. We try to treat everybody as we would want to be treated. I tend to find customers keep coming back year after year. I'm not sure how else to explain it other than the feeling you get when you are here. Even if you're not so even a customer, an employee, it's just a wonderful place to come to. You're happy to come in.
Gump, you have an incredible presence here at Bozard Ford Lincoln, and I know that you are very involved in that customer experience as well. How has the customer engagement played a role in what you do?
What I do? Let me think what I do. I deliver parts and I see a lot of people and pick up parts and happy to do it. In fact, I really look forward to coming to work, but everybody is so friendly here. It's just a nice place to come to every day. It's something that I look forward to. You know, so I get up real early every morning to come here so I'm on time. So, but it's a wonderful place. The Bozard family itself are just wonderful people to work for. They even know me by my first name. And Mr. Roberts, who's been here for several years, is one of our work for. Always keeps me out of trouble. If I get in trouble, I come see him. You know, so, but it's just a nice place to come to. I really appreciate coming here. I've been here 11 years, and I've retired 2 or 3 times from other places. But I enjoy working. It keeps me healthy. I'm 97 years old. I feel that old.
Well, and Billy, you are keeping the Christmas spirit alive here as well. So how have you seen the customer engagement with the holidays evolve at Bozard?
Oh, it's wonderful. They love coming in and seeing the festivities. They love coming in and seeing that we take pride in the holidays. They come in and make comments all the time. Oh, it's just great to walk in here, to feel the vibe, to feel that the holiday spirit is here. They bring their kids in. We have presents for the kids under the tree that's back by my desk. Every kid comes in, gets to choose out a present if he wants.
They just a lot of candy.
Yeah, a lot of candy, a lot of snacks. but not everybody, the customers really enjoy it. It makes them feel happy is the best way to explain it.
What else would you add from a customer experience perspective?
You know, the holiday season is always a unique time. We're all busy. We all have a lot of things going on. And we have to be very conscious during that time that we're very efficient, because, you know, we can't afford to make mistakes during that time. Everybody's got other things going on. You've got office parties and the kids to take care of, and you're shopping and you're traveling and you're doing all these other things. We have to be very conscious that we do our jobs correctly. We have to do the blocking and tackling that's correct. We do a lot of conversation. We talk about being overwhelmed, right? How do you feel when you're overwhelmed? How do you feel? Anxious? Right. I'm going to give you an example. I went to a Taylor Swift concert and I saw 50,000 people overwhelmed and not a single one of them were upset. So overwhelmed is a great feeling. Sometimes they get a little overwhelmed when they see Santa or Billy. All right. What we don't want is for them to be underwhelmed. We've all been there before. And there's never a good underwhelmed. You know, if somebody comes in and they get less than what they expected, it's a bad experience. Our own people, we have to keep a check on to make sure that they continue to overwhelm their people without becoming overwhelmed themselves. There needs to be some safety valves that take place. But if we aren't delivering that level of expectation, then we're not doing our jobs. And we have all been to an underwhelming experience. You go to a restaurant that you are begging, you're dying to go to, and you go and the food's not any good. It's a letdown. And the one thing I will share with our people here, I don't think they get put in a position where they're bored at work, or they are in a position where, they aren't challenged. It's the challenging part of it that does that allows them also to be themselves. And when they're themselves and they can have their personality shine through, it lightens the atmosphere. We're all stressed at times. We all got a lot of things on our plate. This time of year, it's even more so. And if we can do something to make it a little lighter, make it a little easier, it's a win-win for everybody involved.
Gene, this has been such an incredible experience. This is my first time at Bozard Ford Lincoln, but the Fixed Ops Roundtable, how has it been coming this time of year? I mean, last year, the Fixed Ops Roundtable was here as well, but here we are right during the holiday season.
Absolutely. Sarah, it's a little bit like stepping into Santa's workshop. We get to see how the magic is made, and there's truly nothing like it. I'm really glad to be back here with the Fixed Ops Roundtable at Bozard Ford Lincoln. So thank you guys for having us.
Let me come to the group with a follow-up question. And Jeff, if it's okay, I'll come to you. What makes the team at Bozard Ford Lincoln uniquely positioned to deliver exceptional customer experiences?
We're aligned. We know what our priorities are. We know what our goals are. We talk about it. We have a plan that we try to operate as efficiently as possible. We make mistakes. When we do, we try to acknowledge them as quickly as we can and do the next right thing. When we empower our people to take care of customers, that's what we expect from them. And when given that ability and authority, they carry it off at an extremely high level. And it sounds hard. It's really not. You just have to do it over and over and over and over again. You got to keep on talking about it. And if you do, good things happen.
And Jeff, you pulled some strings, obviously, to get not just Billy the Elf, but to get Santa here this week. So there's a lot that goes along with that.
There's a ton, but let me tell you, they're glad to show up.
So great opportunity. Santa, do you want to go ahead and maybe have the last word on that?
Wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone out there and internally.
Everybody, on behalf of Sarah Vantine, the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and the team here at Bozard Ford Lincoln, we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a Happy Holiday season.
Go, 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 go. Hey, how would you like to pay? Card, cash, or check?
I will do a card.
Okay, thank you very much. And will you sign right here?
Sure.
Okay, have a great day.
Great, thank you.
Introducing Dealer Pay Moves, Dealer Pay's new mobile application for dealerships on the move. It's really great because all you have to do is search for your repair order. It's then going to search whichever DMS that the dealership is connected to. As you can see, it's going to pull up that customer record in that open repair order. I'm simply going to select it. Now you've got all your customer details here, including the surcharge amount if it were to be applied with a credit card. I've got options to pay by credit debit. I can key enter the transaction. I can use a paper check or even report cash. I can even add transactions in here so I can do some real-time voids and refunds. Dealer Pay Moves is a great solution for your dealership to stay relevant and mobile.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine. We're here at Bozard Ford Lincoln.
Wow.
Today we are kicking off the Women of Bozard panel,
Wow,
specifically,
look at that, Mommy.
specifically with the moms of Bozard Ford Lincoln. And we have some very special guests with us. Ladies, if you could go down the line, introduce yourselves and also introduce your little ones.
My name is Christina Fennick. This is my daughter Mila. She's 12 weeks old today.
I'm Anna Mercer. I'm due January 21st. Her name is Josie.
Go that way.
I am CJ Hirsch, and this is Sydney, and she is 7 months old.
I'm Taylor Cooper. This is Dawson, and he is 18 months.
Hi, I'm Crystal Garrison. This is Ezra, and he is a three-nager.
Well, ladies, it is incredible to have you all on this panel today, especially getting to share your perspectives as moms. And so, first off, Bozard Ford Lincoln, this is an incredible dealership. And so I just would love for each of y'all to share, how has Bozard really enabled you to balance the responsibilities of being a mother and then also in your personal career? We'll just go right down the line again.
So I have had 2 kids since I've been here in 3 years. So they have always, family is always first. So that's main priority. A lot of the time you feel a little guilty when you're, have a career and you're a mom because your kids are sick or something like that. They never make you feel that way. Your family's priority. And it takes the pressure off of you as a mom to know that the well-being of the kids comes first, and it just makes you give your all to your career at the same time, to both being a mom and your career. So it's been amazing. Very, very blessed to be here.
Same thing. I mean, obviously, I'm still have some time left, but just how much support everyone's been, and just being around like all these kids and everyone, all the moms over the last few years, it's been great, and just learning a lot, and we feel very supported. Yeah, just kind of to say this, I think for me, she's my first, and I am very fortunate the position I'm in warranty, my job can be done from home. So when I was getting down to the end of my maternity leave, I was having a bit of a crisis because I was like, I don't think I can leave her. So they graciously let me start working from home. So I'm very, very, very thankful for that, because it was like very hard with it being your first and all, and being like, how am I supposed to leave this little person? And they've worked with me, and it's been wonderful.
Kind of the same thing. My department is very high driven, and we actually get to a point that we lose track of time. So they always make sure that family first, and being a mom is always first.
Yeah, I ditto. I mean, we support each other. It's balance. Sometimes Bozard requires more of me, and my family picks up the slack, and sometimes my family requires more of me, and Bozard picks up the slack. Like it is truly just balance.
Well, Kristen, I'll come back to you and go down the line again. But, you know, one of the most impressive things that I've seen since being at Bozard Ford Lincoln, there's so many policies and different pieces in effect that really just help the employees. Has there been any specific ones that really stand out to you as an employee of Bozard that have enabled you to be a parent and, you know, enabled you to have an amazing career here too?
So this is my second child, and with my first, I asked Mr. Bozard, kind of joking, but kind of not, if he'd build me a daycare, and then he did. And so that I felt obligated to have another child. I'm kidding, that was not the deciding factor, but it did play a part in it and how we got wonderful Ezra here. But the daycare is super helpful because with my first child, can you please sit down? Can you please sit down? Okay, let's turn around. I can't talk while you're kissing me. Thank you. So it was really hard to leave my first child because there's a lot of things that go into motherhood and you're scared to leave your child with strangers. So it was really nice to kind of know the people a little bit, and then I can pop in whenever I wanted. So that really helped me, especially with the second one. I need you to sit down, please. Come on, climb back up. So that it really helped me knowing that he was so close. I could run over if I needed to. I could go drop off milk if I needed to. So having all of those little perks. And sometimes I would just go sit in there on my lunch break and, you know, get the cuddles and get the you know, just some sanity sitting with all the babies in there. So it was really special. I'm really grateful for that.
Taylor, how has it impacted you, and what policies or what processes have really helped you here?
To be honest with you, it's been absolutely amazing for the fact, just like Crystal said, having your children over at the Bird's Nest, it's been absolutely the best thing ever because having them so close to you while you're at work, just like lunch break, if you need a break, you get to go over there and enjoy one another.
And ladies, you know, one of the other pieces that you know, a lot of moms are listening, and as we can see on this panel, we have a lot of moms on this panel. But when we're thinking about all of the different advice, you know, there's a lot of times in dealerships across the industry where it's hard for a mom to really, you know, have a fulfilling career, and there's barriers, and there's, you know, maybe some challenges in being a parent and a successful professional. You know, what advice would you give moms that are looking at this panel today and see an incredible place like Bozard Ford Lincoln? What advice would you give to moms in terms of what they should seek out in their next professional?
Move to St. Augustine. You can start working here. No,
we have positions.
We do. It's hard to say because I almost feel like Taylor and Crystal were saying, we're really, really, really lucky. Coming back to work as a mom is frightening. Like CJ said, you're leaving this little human that you've made. They're really young still. They really depend on you. I'm the only one who can get her to go to sleep at this point, this one. So coming back to work is really scary, and having the organization back you up as a mom and say, whatever you need, we're here to support you. If you need to, you know, work from home part-time, build the daycare for Crystal, you know, to all of our benefit. But my first daughter was over there too. I went every day on lunch break. So I never felt like I was missing out on her, where you're gone for hours and hours out of the day. I don't know. It's hard to say because I just feel like I'm super, super lucky as to be a first-time mom and have my kids at the Bird's Nest right here on the property. I drive to work with them every day. We sing the Moana soundtrack. You know, I see them all day at lunch. We go home together. It's just such a blessing, and I'm so grateful.
Well, and I know doctor's appointments, all of the OB pieces, getting ready to have a baby. What advice would you give to moms that are expecting in a dealership environment?
Well, it definitely helps that Bozard is just so like family oriented and everything, because obviously you're out unexpectedly sometimes, you know, you have doctor's appointments. My husband also works here, so both of us go. So that's two people that are leaving, you know. I've had some time where I've had to take off unexpectedly. My husband's been able to come home with me, take care of me and stuff like that. But we've always felt so supported and not guilty or felt like, oh, like, you know, people are mad at us or, you know, our management, everyone's very supportive, my team, everyone. So it's hard to find that, you know, but I think the culture here really cultivates that. And so we're very lucky.
Yeah, it's really just finding somewhere that cares about you and that cares about your family. Like it's a whole village, and Bozard is part of my village. Like we ask each other for advice. I mean, there are times I text Christina and say, hey, I'm dealing with this, or vice versa, and we just take care of each other and support each other. So if your job doesn't do that, then you need to find another job.
What other pieces, are we missing in this whole? I mean, the Bird's Nest is incredible. If you haven't seen it, it's a daycare and childcare facility here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. So, I mean, it's just right across the parking lot for these moms to go and see their kids. But, what other pieces do maybe people not know about Bozard that you would like to share with our audience today?
So we'll talk about it, I think, in another segment, but we're big on teams. So everything here is a team. The advisors are teams, valets are teams, the comm center's teams, the quick lane's a team, techs are teams. So if I have to jet, I call Anna, hey, I need you to handle something for me. I got to go. If Anna's had to be out, she's had some things going on recently. And so she has her teammates that she leans on, and they take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. That's really nice, not being feeling like you're on an island, and if you're not there, that your stuff's not handled. If I'm not here, Anna will handle whatever needs to be handled. John, Chris, any of my teammates will handle what needs to be handled, and the customers get taken care of.
Anna, you specifically, I mean, what pieces would you suggest to anybody listening today about Bozard Ford Lincoln?
I mean, just like we've had all talked about before, there's just so much support everywhere. Everyone's on the same page. You just don't really. It's a very unique environment, and this is the only village I've ever worked at, so I don't know how it is in other places, but I've been very, very blessed.
Any other pieces of advice?
I'm like her. This is the only dealership I've worked at, but I have heard other dealerships are very different with how they run things. So I feel like we are very fortunate, but I hope that the industry is using us to look towards to model themselves after it, because it's really great having all the women around and all the moms, because when you are expecting and then you're going through this, you have people who are supporting you because they've been through it and know, and then with the teamwork and stuff, they're very good about because in warranty, we can have some late nights and everything like that, but they've been really working hard to get the pressure off of us with that and adding to our team and just making sure that, people aren't really taking advantage of us with situations and stuff. So they're just really concerned about the employees and making sure that your work-life balance is good.
Well, everybody, you are seeing, this is real life here at Bozard Ford Lincoln.
This is my life.
And these women are just such a testament to what moms and parents and the dealership environment. I mean, this is the reality of having your home life and your professional life. So ladies, thank you so much for being on this panel today. Here with us at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We'll be right back. We have some new segments coming up next.
Can you go grab Dawson's shoes?
Y'all did great.
Okay, can you get down and grab Dawson's shoes?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Just looking at pictures of baby Bo. Check out my jacket right here. Check out that baby right there. The windbreaker. Here's the one of you and Pop and the pixie cut.
In 1949, Fred H. Bozard Jr. and his wife set off on a remarkable journey, one that would shape the history of their family and their surrounding community forever. The Bozard Ford Company was established just off of US 1 in the quaint little town of St. Augustine, Florida. At that time, the population was just 14,000 residents. Little could they have known that this little community would soon evolve into the thriving St. Johns County we know today, now teeming with over 300,000 people.
It was the frontage. They had cars and stuff, a small little lobby that you would walk in, and then the service department was connected to the side of it. So it was small. It was very small.
Well, everything was smaller than you could.
Was
you could walk an elephant downtown St. Augustine. It was so small. Yeah.
Taking the reins in the late 70s, Fred Bozard III assumed the responsibility of carrying on the family legacy, unaware that his small store and staff of less than 40 people would eventually support over 300 team members and their families.
The nice thing about Dad is, although he was extraordinarily intelligent, I think he led a good team, for the size store that we were back then.
I think that's been a lesson for us too along the way that we've, tried to carry on, is the willingness and openness to surround yourself with people who, quite frankly, might be smarter than you, might be more more experienced, more knowledgeable.
I want them all smarter
all of that.
I want them all smarter than me.
In the early 2000s, Fred received the devastating news of a cancer diagnosis. It was during this challenging time that a relative named Mike Shadd stepped in. As he cared for the family business, his goals were clear: enhance the facility, steer them through the Great Recession, and protect the cherished family business until Fred's children, Letti and Bo, were ready to take the reins. Little did he know that their journey would not merely be one of survival, but of remarkable triumph, as they emerged as one of the highest performing dealerships in the entire nation.
So if Dad was, kind of the first step into just surrounding yourself with folks that are smarter, Mike was the first step into creating a culture that allowed people to grow, right? Instead of just bringing them in at already smart or already experienced. Mike was someone that if you were younger in the car business, or you had some vision and you loved this business, he created cultures in all of his stores that you could come in at whatever place, technician, sales associate, service advisor, sales manager, service manager, and you could have some empowerment.
Throughout their 73 years in business, the Bozards have encountered countless unknowns and unforeseen events. Yet amidst the uncertainties, certain truths have remained steadfast since the very beginning. As Fred III understood well, this community was truly unlike any other. A place where even in the face of enormous growth, people still enjoyed that hometown feel.
I think it's so interesting how everything we do, really with our team, was born out of something that was special to us, right? That was born out of something that was smaller, and we grew it, but we kind of never let go of that core reason. We're in bigger buildings now. We have different food at the Christmas party or whatever, but it still feels like, to me, that same family function that was 25 people, in our garage, back in the 80s.
Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has stood as a beacon of commitment to family, unwavering core values, and a vibrant community. Today, we invite you to join us in shaping the future chapters of this extraordinary tale, the remarkable story of Bozard Ford Lincoln. Together, we look to forge an even stronger legacy, one that lasts for generations to come.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Vanessa Collins, joined by Sarah Vantine, and we are here at Bozard Ford Lincoln to talk about Bozard's Technical Institute, Bozard University.
Vanessa, Bozard Technical Institute and Bozard Universities are really just hallmarks in the industry. And it's so exciting to have our entire panel with us today. If you could go down the line, please introduce yourselves to our audience and just briefly state what your role is at Bozard.
Hi, my name's Joel Douglas. I'm in the BTI program as a technician.
My name is Ian Horn. I am a team lead for our transition team over in the Lincoln shop.
I'm Curtis Weatherford, and I'm an instructor at the BTI.
Hi, I'm Crystal Garrison. I'm the Fleet and Commercial Service Manager.
I'm Grace, and I'm the Director of Brand Experience, and I've helped to create the Bozard University brand.
That's awesome. So our first question is, what are the key elements that have contributed to the success of Bozard University, and how do they align with the driven to inspire tenets? Anybody can bite at this question.
Grace, you want to start there?
Sure.
So some of the success of Bozard University really has to do with our people, and our people being really passionate about learning, development, and career growth. So it first starts with we have people who want those things, right?
Absolutely.
And so they latched on really fast to this idea of like turning all learning and development at the dealership into a fun brand, which is Bozard University. And how that relates to our driven to inspire tenets is one of our tenets, which says number one, the first sentence is anything worthy of our efforts is worthy of our best efforts. So if we're going to have a amazing technician development program at the dealership, we might as well have an amazing opportunity for learning and development across the entire dealership for all jobs. But really, it's if we're going to do it, we're going to try to do it the best we can.
That's awesome. Thank you.
And Curtis, you've seen this firsthand, and now as an instructor at BTI, how has this driven to inspire, how has that really impacted you in your career?
That's very exciting. We get to help a lot of young men come in and women and come in and have a career.
And also, Crystal, I'm seeing so much going on at Bozard, and just the rooms that y'all have available for all of your personnel to really, sit in and really absorb all this different learning. How do you see some of these elements being impacted in service?
So Bozard Technical Institute, which is what we refer to as BTI, is housed under Bozard University. So it's a section of that development that we offer. So Grace kind of talked about, we offer personal development, we offer leadership development. This is specific to technicians. So the automotive industry has complained forever that there's a shortage of technicians, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to place them all. So it really is just that we've taken young people, or people, we have a couple that it's their second career. They did something and now I want to try my hand at automotive. Like we have plenty of people that are successful that are working for us now that have done that. Joel is you fresh out of high school, just turned 18, and he comes in and he's we're not just gonna teach him how to work on cars. We're gonna teach him how to do the entire business. We're gonna teach him to diagnose cars and repair cars, obviously, but we're also gonna teach him how to store it and how to use our operating systems and how to effectively be a technician and how to work efficiently and how to make this a career, like a rewarding career, doing something that you already enjoy. And Ian, kind of the same thing. Ian's towards the end of the program. And Ian's actually super proud of Ian because he is our transition team lead. So he has got an opportunity very early in his career to not only learn and be a technician, but now he's leading a small team of technicians as well that are kind of in varying degrees of where they're at. So it's really awesome. The program is in place to help young people that want to be technicians to flourish and actually have a thriving career.
And Joel, you're fresh into the program, but what was it in your consideration that made you choose Bozard Ford Lincoln?
Well, so I've always heard rumors about how good they are to their people. And I know a couple people here, you can see how they are. And I just wanted to be a part of what they had.
And Ian, you're a testament to the success of this program. Could you speak into a little bit about how it's transformed your career in this time?
Well, I've always wanted to work on cars. It's always been something I wanted to do. And when I was in school, we had mock interviews, and that's where I found Bozard. And I've always heard really good things about it, and everyone was always saying they're a lot like family. I had been other places, and when I came here, I will say my jaws definitely hit the floor. I've never experienced such a uplifting group of people. I have definitely learned things from Miss Crystal and Curtis here and all of the peers that are around me, things that I probably wouldn't have learned on my own. I'm just really thankful for all the opportunities I've gotten from Bozard to further my career.
It's incredible, Vanessa. Just hearing these success stories and Grace and Crystal, it's incredible to hear all about the different programs that are available right here at Bozard Ford Lincoln.
Absolutely. And so many dealerships are looking for talent. So our next question is, what advice would you give, other dealerships that are looking to implement a program that is similar to Bozard Technical Institute and Bozard University to kind of grow that talent from within?
So it really, I mean, Curtis, you can probably help me here, but it's really just making the decision that you want to grow people. I mean, yeah, it was in the beginning, Curtis, we went through some people.
Yes,
and
we went through a lot.
And we've changed the program. I can't tell you how many times. I mean, we just took the program from about 8 technicians every year, 18 months or so, and then we've moved it to night because we needed the space. Curtis and I have worked together for 12 years. He's always been my team lead. And every time I talk about Curtis, I get emotional. I don't know why.
We have a lot of success stories. So
We do.
We have so many success stories. People here that really are superheroes in this business right now.
Right.
It's amazing.
And Curtis attributes that. He's being very modest, but Curtis has really been instrumental in accelerating a lot of careers. There's a lot of people that are working, in our shop. I don't know why you make me so emotional, Curtis.
I think too, it's just a commitment. If you say that you want to help people develop their careers, and it's going to be challenging along the way, and you have to stay creative. But at the end of the day, that's what we're committed to. So we will change it 1,000 times if we need to change it 1,000 times, because that's what we're committed to.
Wow.
Yep.
Grace, Bozard University, you've also really piloted a lot of different learning methodologies and really developing your employee, not only their career trajectory, but also the learning that's available to them. Can you share a little bit more about how BTI and the Bozard University really go hand in hand?
Yeah, so I would say Bozard University was inspired because we had an amazing technician development program already in place. So I saw this awesome technician development with so much intentionality, and I was like, well, why couldn't we take that same effort and put it towards other types of learning or other job roles or other things and do it on purpose, the same way that they're developing technicians on purpose. So really, BTI was the inspiration for Bozard University, but we had to give it a name, right? So then we created Bozard University, which would be kind of just our brand for all learning and development. And so then we broke it down into, okay, what areas could we immediately start helping people develop and learn through maybe professional development courses that we've created with our partnership with Herb Mast, or maybe it's a financial wellness learning session, or maybe it's development that happens within the job roles and such. So it's definitely a work in progress as to what we provide now versus what we hope to provide in the future. So we're constantly trying to add and do more. But it's just kind of like a little spark of inspiration. And we're like, oh, we could do more here, or we could do more here, or we could do more here, which has been really fun.
And Joel and Ian, y'all are very young in your careers and you have a lot of opportunity ahead of you. What advice would you give younger people that are looking for, their next, really their career at this point?
You gotta want it. You gotta want to be good in this industry. I mean, there's a lot of young people like us that are looking for jobs, and they are looking to make a career out of this. And I would just say, you gotta want it. You gotta want to make your money. You gotta want to make sure the customers are happy, and you gotta want to make sure that you're going to be a good technician.
Yeah, if you pick this career, definitely hit it 100%. Go all the way with it. It's a really good career.
Hustle.
Hustle.
And I think it's so important to be able to see career growth and opportunities, in the job force that you enter. And so the fact that, even getting teary-eyed here on the panel, it shows how much you care about your employees, your technicians, and, the career growth for them at Bozard Ford Lincoln. So that's amazing.
Yeah, we take it very personal.
Well, everybody, we are here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. This incredible panel with us today are just shining examples of the leadership and the team at Bozard Ford Lincoln. And so on behalf of Ted Ings and Vanessa Collins, I'm Sarah Vantine. Stay tuned. We have more segments coming up next at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
In automotive, we know that innovation drives us forward. The Fixed Ops Roundtable Certified Program is designed to help preferred dealers and partners with powerful tools, resources, and marketing to achieve even greater success. Ted Ings and I invite you to learn more today at fixedopsroundtablecertified.com.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings with Sarah Vantine. We are here at Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, Florida, with two great friends, Ed Roberts, the COO, and honored to welcome Euwart Anderson from Vehlo. Gentlemen, welcome to the event.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Glad to be here.
And Ed, thanks so much for your hospitality and getting a chance to meet the people of Bozard this week at your store.
It's great to have you here, and our people's enjoying the exposure, and they enjoyed sharing what they do. And it's been a cool experience, so thank you for being here.
Well, one of the reasons that Sarah and I enjoy coming in is that we get to see the latest, okay? Latest in service, parts, fixed operations, in processes throughout the dealership, and that includes the technology, okay? Things that you're doing at the store, and things that you are doing at Vehlo all around the country to help dealers in fixed operations. And by the way, congratulations to you on all the success that you're having.
Thank you. Thank you. We're excited today at Vehlo to support over 7,300 dealers. We've been kind of quietly but quickly growing, and we're excited to innovate, atop what's already happening in the industry today.
Well, you've got some great brands with Vehlo, Rapid Recon, Dealerlogix, Text to Drive, just to name a few, okay? Ed, why is technology so important for dealerships now coming into the new year?
Well, technology is what we live in, and unfortunately, we sometimes go up from the wrong approach, and that's where partners like Mr. Anderson helps us out. Is we'll come in and we'll have a broken process, and we'll think, okay, I need some technology to fix that. Well, the technology doesn't fix the broken process. You got to fix the process, then the technology enhances it, and that's where Anderson can come in and help us and really elevate it and say, hey, here's some things that I've seen working, and then when we do that and put this on top of it, we're off to the races.
And you said 7,300 rooftops. So I imagine that you see a lot of differences between both, the dealership size and scale of the technology that they implement, but then also too, the brands that they represent. Can you share with us, how do you tackle all of that diversity across the country?
I think first things first, we ground ourselves in what's most important, which is the experience each dealer rooftop is attempting to create with their consumer and with their team internally, right? So culture kind of trumps all for us, and our job really is to take technology and put it back in the hands of the dealer so that they can now create those respective experiences, and they're not all made equal, right? So depending on if you're a rural dealer, out in a very low volume region, or if you're a high volume dealer in center Chicago, right? Like you're going to have different needs, and we use our technology to make sure, and our approach to make sure that we're accommodating to those needs, which to your point is vast, as far as the demographics concerned. So our key to success has a lot to do with being flexible and listening, really understanding what the dealer's trying to accomplish, and catering our service, our technology, and our teams to that end.
Well, and Ed, with Bozard Ford Lincoln, a lot of people wouldn't even realize that it's in St. Augustine, Florida. So you're not talking like a major metropolitan city, and yet you've seen all this growth both in employees and also in just the book of business that you have. Can you share with us, how did this all get started with the technology?
Well, technology allows us to be more efficient, but it's really going back to what I said earlier. It's the partnership. And so it isn't just the technology, it's the support that these guys offer us, and it allows us to really enhance what we do. But we're in a demanding time, and we'll say 20 years from now that we're in a demanding time because it will be demanding at a different level. But reality is things pick up pace over time. Well, we're still human, we're still people, and we need things to help us keep up with that pace. And that's where technology really comes in. And with a true partner in the business, that's where we can really raise the game of every level. And man, you guys dance in just about everything that we do here, and it helps us immensely.
Right on.
So Euwart, I want to talk to you about one of the things that's taken shape in the last couple of years in the industry, and that's these video inspections and video MPIs coming from the technician as being now front-facing, so the customer can see a more transparent process, have their questions answered. That's just one of the things, okay? But how do you see that playing out? From everything that Sarah and I know that Ed see, that's going to continue to grow, and the demand for that is just going to be exponential.
Sure. So a couple of thoughts. One, Bozard is a great example. The team here and the processes that they've built up are a great example of how you limit the impact of technology and then maximize it to the end that you desire as it relates to the customer experience, right? You have team members here that are in 5 or 6 different technologies on a day-to-day in any respective dealership. And that's not optimal, right? If you jump and dive into the MPI process specifically, and you think about the digital experience that customers have come to expect from their purchasing online, from working with other in other industries, getting imagery of what it is they're trying to accomplish, and just trusting that things are getting done the right way and that the right things are getting done. They're not, there is a dealership stigma in the consumer world that of trust that consumers are trying to overcome, and having a really effective MPI DVI process allows them to overcome that, right? With actual data, they can see almost as if they're in the lane exactly what's going on and what needs to be repaired. And I think Bozard has done an excellent job here at maximizing that to create that transparency with the consumer. The next step, to your point about how we take that to the next level, is to solicit feedback from those consumers. Find out what other elements of that experience would create trust. And again, I think Bozard is a great testimony to that end too.
Ed, there's no going back.
Well, the real test is, a lot of what Mr. Anderson offers us is things that helps us in the store. But the real test is what the customer gets out of it. And that's where the video MPI comes into play. Because customers, no matter whether you're in this industry or in another industry, you always question, am I being told the truth? And when we can show them in a video, it gives that transparency. And it's hard to deny what's right in front of you. And because it's there, it's reality, and it creates that transparency. So those are the elements that the customer feels, and when we can tie all those together, it becomes seamless for them. And looking at it through their lens, that's what we want to do.
And you help us with things that start even earlier, writing up the customer. I couldn't imagine doing that anymore with a pen and paper and clipboard. You help us do it now electronically. It's professional, transparent again for the customer to see all that. With a lot of the things that you do, you've really taken fixed operations. You've got a big umbrella at Vehlo.
Sure. And to your point about the write-up experience, tying that into what Ed just shared about building trust, everything from the initial check-in and scheduling an appointment, automating that, letting the car almost speak to the customer, which is probably why they ended up in the service lane to begin with, and being able to translate that language to something the customer can understand, all the way through, the full repair order process and service experience. Like it's huge. And today, like our goal is to drive, and empower that experience with our dealers, and make sure that they become their customers' favorite. Keeping customers is a very difficult thing today in any industry, and in dealership, it's most certainly, one of the most challenging things that they can accomplish. So we want to make sure to arm them with tools to do that.
Well, you see so much happening in the industry, and as I'm sure the customer experience demands more transparency, more interfaces that make it seamless. What's on the horizon for Vehlo in 2025?
Sure. I think one, taking customer experience to the next level has very little to do with our imagination and more to do with our ability to go listen to dealers and to consumers and ask the right questions and seek out the opportunities for innovation. We also are not very interested in overcomplicating that experience, right? Trust is typically not something sophisticated. It's something very simple, and it's intentional. So we want to make sure that as we innovate based on building trust and helping dealers to build trust with consumers and meet in that very difficult to find but important space.
And Ed, you see so much innovation happening right here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. What are you focused on for 2025?
We create priorities for every department, and we always want to focus on going forward. And some of that is technology. And I love what you just said. We have a purpose behind the technology that we built, and that purpose is to intensify transparency. And that's what we always want to intensify and carry forward, no matter which year it is create that transparency. And when we do that with the vehicle that we have, then we might get the chance to make that second vehicle in that driveway ours as well, and offer that same transparency.
Sarah, we're here at Bozard. We're here with the best team on the planet, Bozard Ford Lincoln. And I got to tell you, what a great experience to, just come here and engulf ourselves in the culture and hear from the people on the career path. It's got to be refreshing for you to see this as well.
Indeed, I do feel very privileged to be here. I think Ed and team have set up, the best team in the industry and in the world. So, and I don't think that's automotive specific either. I've not seen very many operations that are this impressive. So, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody, we're here with two great leaders in the industry. Euwart Anderson at Vehlo, the home of Rapid Recon, Text to Drive, Dealerlogix, and more. And Ed Roberts at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Sarah Vantine and I will be coming right back.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Ed Roberts, and we're here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. And Ted, who do we have here today?
Ed, first of all, very grateful to you for hosting us here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable at Bozard. We have Maureen Martin, our great friend from Dynatron Software with us. And we have Al Giombetti, one of the legends in our industry, from a long history with Ford Motor Company. Al and Maureen, welcome.
Thank you.
Ted.
Great to be
Thank
here.
you, Ed.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Al, so many things that tie into Ford and here, the history at Bozard. And there's a lot of things happening in our industry. And when you look back, what are some of the changes that you're seeing now that are standing out in terms of fixed operations and the attention it's getting, and including profitability for dealers?
Well, I'm going to date myself, but when I first started out with Ford, I actually was a service rep. And the first thing you saw was a lot of space, a lot of bays, and people were talking about service, but they really didn't dedicate themselves to service. And then as time went on, the vehicles got more, we'll call it technologically advanced. The technology had to follow. The service business became more technician type business. I would say that even in the 90s when we started to do diagnostic changes, looking at the vehicle. So I would say the biggest thing that I've seen in my time is technology. When technology starts to leapfrog, we had to go with it. And I think that's where service becomes so important, not only to the dealership, but primarily to the customer, because they want their vehicles fixed right. They want it fixed right the first time. And I think that's just continuing to evolve. And it's really evolved, I think, at Bozard, because I'm a customer of Bozard, where now you're even showing up at someone's house. So really about technology. I think technology is key, and it's going to be in our future, and it's with us forever.
Ed, what stands out to you?
Well, I think what Al said is that we had to find a time where we started focusing on taking care of our customers and the service that they need on their vehicles, because we had this thing called the aftermarket that was coming up like crazy back in the late 80s, early 90s. And they was out there just to capture our business. And we had to tighten the reins a bit and meet customers on their terms. And we are still trying to find new ways to meet customers on their terms. That's one of the things we do with mobile service is it's the Amazon service. It's service at your doorstep. And you've experienced that, Al. And,
Yes.
But it's once a customer experiences it, they don't go back. And it is offered outside of the manufacturer, but not very widespread. So it's our opportunity to really grasp and hang on to our customers, because they're our customers first. And when we don't take care of them, then they go elsewhere.
I think that's a key point, though. If a dealer, its management team, its leadership team is focused on the customer and they're focused on service, they will win. It is in, I'll call it the P&L, the profit and loss. If you handle your service business and your parts business, you will be a very successful dealership.
Absolutely.
That much I learned very quickly as a service rep, parts rep, sales rep, as I went through all the chairs at Ford. But I found those dealerships who dedicated themselves to service and the customers, they win. And I think you guys are really trying to do that every day.
Maureen, I want to get your perspective from Dynatron Software. You work with so many dealers all over this continent, and you've put together an amazing product. What do you see from your perspective?
You know, what's interesting, if building on what you're talking about with technicians, I just had the privilege of doing a dealer roundtable, had a couple of our dealer partners from Hendrick and Hudson, and we were talking about technicians. Because if you really think about it, at the core of it, you've got your service advisors building that confidence so that they know how to take care of that customer. But also at the same time, you've got to have the technicians to repair. And I found it really mind-blowing to me that right now, across all segments, we're 1.2 million technicians short. And that's up from about 750,000 about 10, 15 years ago. And the average age of a technician is 52 years old, and 60% of high schools and colleges are dropping their auto tech program. So we've got to grow them from within. We have to give them the tools and the data to know how they're doing. And that also happens on the service advisor side. And so I think in order to get that perfect max of profitability and superior customer retention, it's got to be an entire team effort, like you said.
Ed, talk to us, I love that phrase, growing from within, growing your own technicians. Speak to us a little bit about that.
Well, that's how we're wired. And yes, you're right. The industry averages, the average age is in the 50s. And we're blessed that over 70% of ours are 30 or less.
Yeah.
Good.
32 or less. And it's because we grow our own. I've been in this industry for, I'm going to date myself as well. Coming up on 33 years.
I think I got you.
You got me back.
And I'm right in the middle, to be honest.
and there has not been a time where there hasn't been a shortage of technicians.
Right.
And we can talk about it or we can do something about it.
Absolutely.
And that's where we got to grow our own, because that's doing something about it. The automotive programs in high schools really creates the interest, but didn't put them where they needed to be. So we still need to grow them from there. But now we don't have anybody creating the interest either. So we have to go out and fill those gaps and further educate them to become who they can be. But when you do that, when you give someone a skill, you change their life forever.
Right.
Change the life of them and their family forever. And those are pretty cool elements to have in your hat.
And when you think about it, we really got to get them all the way down in middle school. I had the privilege of helping to launch the robotics program in our middle school and getting kids to think about STEM and getting them to think before they even get to high school and then get to college. And so I think it's really important that, you do so much in the industry and in your community, and that's where it starts. It's all of our dealers across the whole U.S.
I think your point of the community is very important, because I spend some time, and I know Bozard does as well, with the Boys Club and Girls Club of St. Augustine. And everybody says, I want to go to college, but I can't afford to go to college. And my response is, I don't really think you have to go to college to make it in this world today. I said, because the world has changed quite a bit, again, since when I was a kid. And our vehicles are sophisticated. And they give a chance for some young person to develop a sophisticated career, because you're dealing with technology. And everybody wants to be part of technology today. And so I go to them and say, listen, back in the day, it used to be diesel technicians. Remember, we used to run out and try to find them, right? And people were paying more and more.
Yes.
It was kind of like the NFL, right? Everybody was making more money, which is great. That's America. But at the same time, look at all these opportunities. And I think that's where I'd be spending a lot of time is going and talk to these young people, bring them into these beautiful stores and say, hey, this is what you can do and make a great living doing it and have fun. Absolutely. And to me, that's where the rubber's going to hit the road, is we got to grab them when they're younger, make sure they understand it's a great career, and you don't have to always go to college to be successful.
When we were at Northwood, we were talking to the students, and I got a chance to sit with 10 young men that were, in high school. And one of the things they brought up to me that I thought was really interesting is getting parents to understand how amazing the automotive industry is. And what they think of as being a technician, as you said, is not. Their technology focus, their computer programming, all of those things come into play. And I thought that was a really amazing insight from a very young group that we had. So,
Ed, I want to pivot, if I could, a little bit while we're here about mobile service. We've got the remote services, we've got the mobile van here behind us. You're a leader here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. How has that evolved since you started the program here? And where do you see the future growth going?
Well, it started way back in 2015, long before we branded any vehicles, where we started going out and seeing fleets and introducing ourselves as a service provider to fleets, not asking to sell them a vehicle, but introducing ourselves as a service provider. It didn't matter what brand vehicle they had in their fleet, with the mission to convert them to Fords. And over time, that has certainly gained some traction. We have a huge commercial department now, and but it has evolved to where we're running nearly 50 trucks on the road now. But looking forward to it in the future, I don't think 50 is the number. I don't think 100 is the number. Maybe it's 200, maybe it's 300, because what we want to do is make mobile service the product. Right now, it's still the byproduct. Most of the time that you need service, you'll come in to the dealer. Maybe a third of the time we'll come to you. I want to get it to the point to where you might only come to service at the dealer one time during the ownership cycle. And if when we get to that point, whether it's 200 trucks, 250 trucks, who knows? But I think we will own the experience, the entire life cycle ownership experience for that customer.
When you're removing the friction points, right? I mean, you're making it all about the customer.
When you look at it through their lens, that's what they're asking for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I'm a customer.
Yeah.
And I had them come to my house because I didn't, well, first my battery was dead. And they came to the house. 20 minutes later, they were gone. I paid them. And I was driving. So.
Yeah.
Well, and Al and I had the privilege to work together back at Ford Motor Company, and market rep was always a huge part of what we both had done in our careers. And to be in a facility like this is just incredible. So well done.
Well, thank you for the support, because we can't do this alone. It takes a team, it's a village, and we need support from the top all the way through, and we appreciate that.
Maureen, one last question for you.
Sure.
Dynatron Software, working with over 4,000 dealers in the United States, okay? What an amazing achievement. In just the last, 5 or 6 years,
Yes.
okay? But you've really caught on to something, okay? And that's this need, this hunger for getting better in fixed operations. What are some of the things that you're seeing, whether it's on the recruiting side, technician side, as we talked earlier, or just the general support that retailers need today?
It's we have a lot of data, but data is only as good as it is actionable. And so we spend a lot of time working with our dealerships to help them, because often they don't even know that we're solving for a problem they don't know they have. And so working with that data and taking it and making it so that you can do what you do best, which is develop your people and really find that pinnacle point of not leaving anything on the table, but having superior retention. And when it comes to the technician side of it, we have a Tech CF, which is something that allows you to coach your technicians on their goals. Like, where do they want to go? How do you help them to improve their efficiency and their productivity? And that's something that I think is so needed today, because they need to see a pathway, a career path. And that's what we're seeing most with our dealerships, is that they are really starting to put in not only a recruitment, but that full career path, because we have to grow from within. So they're bringing people in that didn't even think about automotive, and you have to have that pathway, which I know you do here. And so those are some of the things that are really important. And your retention happens because one technician says to another, this is the best place to work.
Absolutely.
And when we do that, then we know that we're successful. So we want to make sure you have all the tools possible to be able to do that and spend your time with your people, because that's what makes it really work with customers.
And it's also a guide for our management staff that's out there that's trying to grow from within. They just don't know how to get started. And they need that guide as well. It isn't just for the people that are trying to grow. It gives them the opportunity to say, okay, here's what I need to prepare for next. And that's what we need to continue to offer, is the guide to allow our management staffs to grow from within.
You have to.
Yes.
Al, this has to be refreshing for you to hear this conversation after all the work that Ford has put into developing and building these dealers. And you've got a rich history at Ford. Ed does as well. Al, it's all good news.
Well, first of all, this facility is awesome. You look at the Ford store, the Lincoln store, the restaurant. I know I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not. I know you bought some property. And, so it's pretty good.
Inside information.
And I'm kind of a local, so it's great to see grow. I know where the original store was.
Yes.
And there's a gentleman named Don Sparkman who grew up around here, who from
Oh,
Ford.
for sure.
So we went and looked at it. We met with Fred, and we said, Fred, this place is going to boom. Matter of fact, we're looking at buying here. And so we need our Ford store to look really, really good. And you guys did a great job. And now you're just taking it to the next level. So to me, it's just a lot of fun. And, the automotive is just one of those businesses that you get to know people, and everybody, once you're in the club, you're in the club and you enjoy it, and everybody knows where it wants to go. We just want to be successful. And I'm a very competitive person, so I love seeing Ford stores that look like this, because I want to go beat the other guys, which I won't mention, because I know you probably have
We
to deal
still
with them
bleed
too.
blue. That's what I always say.
I can tell.
Yeah.
But I know you have to
absolutely.
deal with them as well, so we're okay.
Well, Al Giombetti, very honored to have you with us here today.
Thank you,
Bozard
the
Ford
honor is
Lincoln.
mine.
and Maureen Martin at Dynatron Software. Thank you for all you do for the industry and for fixed operations and the Fixed Ops Roundtable as well.
Thank you.
And all the great knowledge and people that you bring on the show.
It's a privilege to be here. We always love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ed, as always, greatly appreciated to you and the team here at Bozard.
Greatly appreciate you guys being here. This has been a fun ride.
I'm Ted Ings. We're here with the team from Dynatron Software. We're at Bozard Ford Lincoln, and we will be right back.
The Fixed Ops Roundtable is a name you can trust for the latest technology, tools, and processes in a fast-changing retail environment. Become part of the brand that's building the most powerful consumer experiences. To be considered for the Fixed Ops Roundtable Certified program, please visit us at fixedopsroundtablecertified.com.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Vanessa Collins, and we are at Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, Florida, with our panel today to talk about the power of teams. And Vanessa, one of the great things that Bozard does is it seems to have a team culture throughout the dealership. And I know you and Katrina are a great team as well.
Absolutely. Being here for less than 24 hours, I have definitely seen the power of teams within Bozard Ford Lincoln's dealership. And thank you all for being on this panel with us. And starting with Dan and working our way down, if you would like to just introduce yourself and let us know what you do here at Bozard Ford Lincoln.
Yes, I'm a co-team lead, technician in the shop.
Awesome.
Josh, I'm Dan's partner, co-team lead in the shop. My name is Scott Harrington. I am our remote service manager.
Russell Wright, I'm a shop foreman and training coordinator.
And Scott, if I can just elaborate on that, remote services, that includes mobile service. Am I correct about that?
Correct. Yes. We go out to customers' houses, we do your oil changes or anything you need done.
And that's one of the unique things here at Bozard is that you also work with that team concept on the mobile trucks.
That is absolutely correct. We have to work with everybody at the dealership. I mean, we go out to a customer's house and we're diagnosing something. Let's say it has to come back to the shop. We have to work with the advisors here at the dealership and the technicians here so we get all the correct information so we can take care of that customer's vehicle for them.
Well, everybody, let me ask you a little bit more about this teams concept and how you deploy it here at Bozard. Because the industry is constantly changing. Mobile and remote services are one of the big changes. Dan, how about teams? How does that come into play in the shop with what you do?
It's a pretty big part between me and Josh. We've been a team for probably 3-4 years now, and it's nice to have somebody to lean on when there's like you going through issues, a speed bump in the road or whatnot.
Now, Josh, are you both a team and work together?
Yeah, so we're team leads of a smaller group, but we're also a team ourselves. So we split everything right down the middle. So we share hours, vacation time. Like we split everything 50-50. So we both have to pull our weight or the other person's not going to be happy. So it's a good balance.
And if I could ask you about that balance a little bit, do you each have different strengths and that's how you are on the team, or are you both strong in like one particular area? How does that work?
We balance each other out pretty well. I do a lot of the paperwork. Dan's a heavy diesel guy. I personally hate working on diesels, so it works out. He doesn't like working on 4-cylinder cars. I don't mind it, so we balance each other out pretty well.
And Scott, how does the team concept, if you will, come into play on mobile?
I mean, we all have to work together to make sure we're taking care of our customers and our clients. Every morning we got to work with parts here at the dealership. We got to make sure we have the right parts. So when we do get out to that customer's house, we can take care of their vehicle that same day.
And also in terms of the shop, you got a big responsibility, Russell. You're overseeing a whole lot of people. I'm hearing and I'm learning more about and Vanessa are learning about the teams. You've got it set up in several different ways, according to what I hear right now.
Absolutely. And actually, we have a team of 3 shop foremen, so I'm not doing it all by myself. I have two other excellent coworkers, and we divvy up the workload just like they do amongst the teams of the technicians themselves. And we each have our strengths and weaknesses and assets and liabilities, and we know what those are, and we work off of that.
Does that help drive? I know Bozard talks a lot about innovation. Okay, does that help drive innovation and success, having people working in teams?
Oh, absolutely, because you're getting different points of view, different points of reference. Everybody brings something different to the table in the way that they work and approach problem. So having those different approaches helps us get to the end game a lot quicker and easier.
Same thing on mobile?
100%. 100%. You know, I have 3 foremen out in the field for us too that help me out with daily stuff.
You're kidding?
That is correct. Yes, I need that with the 50 techs we have now. So.
And that mobile operation is expanding greatly. It's one of the things, obviously, that we're highlighting this week at Bozard Ford Lincoln. But speak to us a little bit about that. Why you have more than one person in the truck? I know things could happen, such as spills and things like that, and maybe you have to have somebody certified also.
Correct. Yeah. So right now we actually, the majority of their vans are solo riders. There's just one person in each van. You know, and there is the occasional incident, you know, spilling a fluid or something like that. But, you know, we have a great connection with people to come out and help fix that stuff. If we do that, take care of that customer's driveway, if that's the case.
Yeah, so anyone can kind of bite at this question first, but how do you maintain team cohesion and motivation in your day-to-day operations here at Bozard Ford Lincoln?
Communication.
Communication?
Every month with our techs, because they are mobile, they're out driving around every day, so we don't necessarily see everybody every single day. So we make it a priority to have that daily huddle meeting in the morning with everybody.
Okay.
And then every month we meet with everybody at our location.
That's awesome.
Let's ask our folks who are the techs, your thoughts.
We kind of just rely on each other. Like, we have the same goals. We both want the same thing, so we know that we need to come in every day and get it done. So we just lean on each other. Hopefully we're not both having a bad day. It usually balances out to where if one person's stuck on something, the other person can be turning the hours for them. But
for sure,
it works out. We just have the same goal.
Yeah.
We try to keep things fun. So that way it's not just a robotic thing.
Oh, for sure.
So that way it's not just straight work all the time. They gotta have a little fun with it.
Yeah, very important to have that balance.
You know, Bo and Letti Bozard were on a panel a little bit earlier today, and they talked about the importance of allowing new ideas to come up, especially from folks who might be newer employees, people who haven't been in the business, and encouraging those thoughts. I'm curious for all of you, what role does that team culture or diversity play in generating unique ideas and perspectives? You know, I'll start with Russell. What do you see in the shop? Because you've got a lot of people you're overseeing there, even in your team.
Well, they actually, we feed off of each other. So getting the ideas from the young people kind of buffers against some of the more rigid attitudes of the other people, the older people that have been in it for a while. And then we find a happy medium that works. And it may even help us invent a new approach to a particular process or problem.
Oh, I like it.
I think one of the biggest things, and it's one of the things I'm going to focus on in 2025, is seeing what we can actually do with remote services. You know, we're going to see if we can do more than just oil changes, tire rotations, and diagnostics. You know, we're going to see what levels of work we can do out in the field, and using experienced techs like Josh and Dan to really solidify what we can do out in the field, what we can't do, is going to be a big part of changing the industry in mobile service.
And Josh and then Dan, do the teams ever change at all or change up? You know, we make some.
They change a fair amount, at least once a year, most of the time, multiple times a year. You know, we have the BTI program, you know, they're getting guys trained up, and those guys are going to be coming in the shop, so it's going to completely change the dynamic of the teams. Some people get into it, realize they want to try being an advisor or something like that, so they leave and somebody else comes in the team. Scott was actually on our team when he first started at the dealership and decided to move, become an advisor, and now the remote services manager. So it's constantly changing.
And Dan, your thoughts on that?
The management's open to like new ideas, so if you ever want to present it to them, they're open to it. Like we presented them a 4-day work week a while ago. We've been on that for almost 2 years now, so they're not against new ideas.
Josh, does it help having leadership here at Bozard Ford Lincoln that has been and understands fixed operations, helping to lead the team?
Yeah, the experience of our leadership team is great. I mean, Ed was a tech. Matt worked on cars in the military. Chris was a tech in the shop. Like, it's great to have the knowledge of what we actually go through every day, versus just somebody that's been an advisor their entire career, or just a manager in a different industry and company. Like, they understand our daily struggles. So when we come to them with them, they can help.
And one final question, I'll put this out to anybody who'd like to answer it. What would you say to your peers who are watching today, who are in the industry? Would you recommend the team structure, the team concept? Because again, it's not at every dealership that's doing something like this. What are your thoughts there?
We're stronger as a group than we are as individuals.
We are the best team on the planet.
B-top, best team on the planet. I like that.
I definitely recommend, if you can find the right person to team up with, it helps a lot.
Want to bring it home, Dan?
You kind of stole that from me. That's what I was going to say. It's definitely hard to find somebody that meshes with you perfectly, but if you can find that person, that's definitely worth it.
All right, everybody, the power of teams is very visible. Vanessa Collins and I are here at Bozard Ford Lincoln. We're in St. Augustine, Florida, with the best team on the planet, and we will be right back. Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I am Ted Ings with Gene Ings, and we are here at Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, Florida, to talk about the generations of employees at Bozard. Gene, very honored to have everybody here and to have you on the panel as well. You were here with us about 1.5 years ago at Bozard, and it's amazing to see all the growth here at the dealership as well.
Absolutely. You step onto the campus here at Bozard, you can really feel the difference. The culture is amazing, the people are amazing, and I am so incredibly happy to be back. Now, I would love to go down the line and hear if everyone can introduce ourselves and what you do here at Bozard.
I'm Abby White. I'm a service advisor here. Started about 5 or so years ago, and it's been awesome.
Steve White, service technician. Do pretty much all of it.
Greg Oswald, 20-year senior master. I work in the main shop. Been here about 6 years. It's family here.
I'm Victoria Oswald. I've been here about 3 years, and I'm a spot finance assistant.
All right, well, everybody, we want to ask you a couple questions today. What it's like working together as a family at Bozard, what it's been like. And Victoria, if I could start with you, what are some of the impressions that you've had from doing this?
I think that it's been amazing working here at a family business and having my own dad here. We have a lot more time to spend together and talk, and now we have a lot more in common. So now we can talk about all the friends and the family that we've made here. It's been amazing.
And Greg, you're a long time in the industry, out in the shop. Your thoughts?
Well, it was different. You never know how you're going to get along with family at work, but it's been good. We actually bond a lot more. I like to watch my daughter grow as she's in here, and she is growing. I'm just impressed that she's here and it's family. It's family with family.
I like that. Steve, is it the same for you, being able to watch your daughter grow within the industry as well?
Yeah, she's doing very well here, from what I hear. And I'm very proud of her. And she's very sensitive.
I'm gonna pull it together. I really like having my dad here. I'm really lucky too, because if I'm having a bad day, I can go over and get a hug. Or if I'm having a really good day and I want to share the news immediately, I can text him and be like, where are you? Or just check his location and find him at a day. And so it's really fun. I can't imagine having a job and not having my dad there at this point.
And Abby, it seems there is a big focus, we talk about the culture here at Bozard, but on family. We had a segment a little bit earlier with the moms of Bozard, and it's amazing to see how Bozard helps pull together for the employees and families and, vice versa as well. And Jean, some of your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, I could definitely relate to what you said
Yeah,
about
me
being
too.
able to, go up to my dad and say, hey, I have a question. Can you help me with this one thing?
Oh my
Help me
gosh, yeah.
understand. Or just even come for emotional advice or support. It's just been absolutely wonderful. And I really love what you guys said about Bozard being family. And obviously, it means that in more way than one.
Yeah.
So I would love to ask dads, what is one piece of advice that you've shared with your daughters about working here at Bozard?
Always be honest. It's a big one around here.
Yeah.
And she does very well.
Yeah. Thanks, honey. What about you?
I tell my daughter, always give it 100%. Do your job. Don't worry about what other people do. People will see that you are a good worker and your potential, and hopefully help you grow in this place. And she's done everything that I've expected of her and more. She's a very smart girl.
And Greg, we've all seen other dealerships, and we've worked at other dealerships, some places that maybe we would not want our family to work, okay? But it's different here, okay? Because there is a true culture, and it starts with the family, the Bozard family themselves.
Yes, from the owners all the way down to the valet people, it is one big family. It's a job that you want to come to, because it's more like going to a family gathering than going to a job. And you just can't explain it unless you live it.
And if I could add one more thing, and you've experienced this in the shop, I couldn't help but see all throughout the year on social media how the Bozard family treats their employees as family with things such as the cookouts and things they do that are above and beyond the norm.
They go
okay?
way over and above.
Yeah.
I worked at places that you were just a number. And this place, everybody in here knows your name. They really do go overboard for you.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right, I have a question for the daughters, okay? Victoria, I'll start with you. What's something you've learned from your dad that's helped shape your approach to working at Bozard or your approach to being in the automotive industry?
Before I worked at Bozard, I had never been in the industry, and I always just knew it from his standpoint of being a technician. And once I started here, he's always taught me to give my 100%, but being here, he has really let me know that I can trust the people that I have around me, and I don't need to be too hesitant on it. And if I show my true potential, it is seen, and I'm constantly rewarded for it.
Can you repeat the question?
What's one thing you have learned from working with your dad, being with your dad at the same dealership?
100%, like giving 100%, like his work ethic is insane, and it's probably been like embedded in me since I was like a child. Like he doesn't stop ever. Like if he's not here working, he's at home building my mama porch. Yeah. Like he doesn't ever quit. And like when I come here, of course I want to make everybody here proud of me and happy, but like at the end of the day, I'm here to make Steve look good and to make him proud of me. So coming in and seeing the way that he's worked his whole life, it's easy to copy at this point. I've watched it so many years, just do the same thing as him.
Abby, a follow-up for you. Did you ever envision yourself working in the automotive industry?
No. No. And I'm not sure if I could even do it like anywhere else. Like it's just such a different culture here. Like people will come from different dealerships all the time, and it's just a completely different energy here. So I think for my first time, I've been incredibly spoiled, and now I love it.
I completely
Same
agree.
question for you.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know if I would have ever went myself to any dealership and thought I could make it a job there, but it is not a job. I enjoy my time here. I don't want to leave. They're constantly, why are you still at work? Because I love it. Yeah, I couldn't do it, especially without him here. It makes it everything.
Jean, did you ever envision yourself?
Absolutely not. I think it's the one thing that definitely surprises me every day about how much I absolutely love being in the automotive industry, and not just because of how amazing the people are, but also the opportunity to get to work with my dad and my family and be able to build that family within everybody that I get to meet.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. Whenever I had a job before, and I really liked it and stuff, but my dad was really adamant that if I wanted to work somewhere, I don't even know if you remember this, but he was like, if you want to work somewhere where you like are treated really well and respected, and there's a lot of trust in there, then Bozard is the place to be. And he made me apply. Like he said, put the resume, and I did. So I got to give all the credit to him again.
Great job, Dad.
Yeah, good job, Dad.
That's wonderful. I mean, what a special relationship, not only just to have your dad here, but also here at Bozard. Of course, the culture is amazing. What does it mean to be a part of a multi-generational team here at Bozard?
I think that it kind of, okay, so there's two answers to that kind of. So in like a general sense, like Steve will have stories about like cars and stuff that I've like never seen, never ridden in, you know, from a few generations ago. And so if I have a customer that like comes in and they're talking to me and they're my age, I can all day we're gonna get along. But if I have a customer who's a few generations above me, then it's, I can use Dad's stories to make a connection. I can use some of his knowledge to sound smarter, honestly. So I definitely pull from him constantly. But having him here with me every day, where was I going with that? I don't know. Use the first part. Okay.
Dad,
Great
let's ask
answer.
you
I had
about
something
the
else. I can't
generational
remember.
aspect. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I had something for a second.
I know, but I just said something.
It allows me to see what it's like from a service writer's point of view. It's what Abby's doing right now. And I'm learning from that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if she ever has a question, she just calls me and I can give her the straightforward answer. And I think it helps her.
Greg and Victoria, bring it home. Your thoughts on the multi-generational aspect?
I think for like Steve and Abby, it's great because she's able to ask him questions being over in service, but yet I am in sales, so he gets to see a part of my day being in sales, and I get to see, since I've been little, his part in service. But also being here with a family that has just been generations passed down, we're able to take everything they've built and continue to add our new ideas on and help the team grow.
Everybody, thanks for sharing your stories today on the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Great story. And honored to have all of you with us. Everybody, I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Gene Ings. We're at Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine with the generations of employees. We will be right back. Well, Sarah, Bozard Ford Lincoln, once again, lived up to all the hype and exceeded our expectations.
Ted, this has been an incredible event here with Ed Roberts. And Ed, I am just so impressed with the amount of passion that this team of yours has. I mean, everybody from every single role in the dealership has just been so inspiring to listen to.
It's been fun to watch. I mean, I appreciate you guys being here, but just seeing them up here from the kids all the way to development programs, just seeing all the different elements and everyone getting engaged and being a part of it and and being excited about sharing what they do here it was pretty cool to watch.
And it's got to help. It's got to make you proud as well. And the Bozards have been here, Jeff King's been here, and a lot of folks have been here watching throughout the course of the event. But just amazing to see the growth in your organization.
Well, I'm a proud dad for sure, and all of my people are my kids, and so yes, I'm proud of them, and they do an amazing job, and they continue to inspire me every single day.
And Ed, the piece that I'm taking away from all of this, it's just all of this culture. There were some words that your team had for 2025. Could you share them with us again, just as a reminder?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is get everyone aligned and push them in the same direction. And when we do that, we can accomplish anything. And we have all these different departments and different things, but at the end of the day, we are one team and we're Bozard. And we're all systems go for 2025. That's our theme for 2025, and we will continue to push forward.
I'm Ted Ings with Sarah Vantine, with Ed Roberts. We are at Bozard Ford Lincoln, the best team on the planet. Ed, you've reminded us several times, always under construction. And
the road to success is always under construction. And so we're always working on it. We're always making it better. Sometimes we got to take a step back to take 2 more forward, but we're willing to do whatever it takes to go forward.
On behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable and Bozard Ford Lincoln, thank you for joining us. Have a very happy holiday, and we'll see you back again soon.